take 2 of these.
Yeah, this is Tegan's 6-inch. Wait. Yeah, 6-inch. More like a 6 minus.
Not very nice.
I gotta look at mine now. I'm curious to see what it says on it.
Yours will probably be a work.
I love when you do all the research for me. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Private Garage. Today we are, well, we're basically just painting. So I can't say it's going to be the most exciting video ever, but this is a shortened 9-inch that's going to be going into the Dart so we can put on the big fat tires. So we'll show you some cool shots of that. This will be a good video for you to watch if you are considering using Pour 15. Kind of going to go over that a little bit over prep and stuff like that. And you can kind of see what the finished product looks like. As well, if you're shortening a 9-inch to fit into a 1970 Dart, you can kind of see what things look like, I guess. So, call this a little bit of a filler episode, but I did want to kind of show some of the stuff that's going on with Tegan's car. If you like seeing the videos of the Dart, let me know. I'm sure Tegan would be happy to let me show you guys around his car a little bit more. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, like the tubs and a few different things that we could kind of go over and show. So I hope you guys enjoy the episode, and if you want to see more like this, let me know. So 9-inch.
This is a spool.
Is this a spool?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's very spooly. Yeah, good for tight corners. Have you driven with a spool yet?
No.
Nothing could go wrong.
I'm Saskatchewan. There are no corners. Everyone runs spools.
All right. So this axle probably doesn't look short on camera, but it is so short. How can I measure this so you understand? It's only 3 wrenches. Like, look at, that's a wrench. That's a wrench length. Ridiculous. What are you yelling about? Oh, well, we don't need numbers. You say, oh yeah, use a measuring tape. Is it a Milwaukee measuring tape? Well, then I don't need it. "48 inches. That, my friends, is a Ford rear end going into a Mopar. Why? Because Mopars are awesome, but they're more awesome with Ford parts. Okay guys, so I'm not going to go through all the steps and instructions for Pour 15. It's on the can. You guys can read and find it online. And there's other people that do lots of videos on Pour 15. I am going to do a bit of a review, give some feedback, a little bit of commentary, and I'm going to show the steps, but I'm not going to bother, explaining every single thing. Again, just read the can. So if you have questions, leave in the comments. We'll get back to you. But other than that, let's cue the music. I'm just kidding, that music would be terrible. Alright, I know I'm going to have to explain this all the microphone again, but what did we do so far? We degreased it, then we rinsed it off to clean the degreaser off per the instructions. Next we got to etch it. What do we do after we etch it? Paint it? Rinse it off again, then paint it.
Dry it, make sure it's dry between each step.
And we're using Pour 15 products.
Yes.
So you will notice we're getting a little bit of surface rust on here. And it wasn't rusty, and then you put the water on it, it is rusty. Normally what you'd want to do is treat that with some kind of rust killer before you paint it.
And not touch it with your oily hands.
And don't touch it with your oily hands and ruin what you just degreased. But honestly, it'll be fine. Pretty small amount. But yeah, so the reason we're not concerned about the surface rust in this case, well, there's 2 reasons. One, Tegan only put about 100 hours into this axle, so really pretty much a small amount of time, so we don't really care if we do it perfect. And the other reason is because we're using Pour 15. And Pour 15 is supposed to treat rust. And so in theory, it should seal this all in and we should be fine. That's why you pay extra money for Pour 15, because it's a good product. So this isn't...
And we're going to be driving this car at like 100 miles an hour on shitty Saskatchewan gravel roads. So if the rocks fly up and chip this axle, It's totally Poor 15's fault, and they need to make a better product.
We need warranty or sponsorship.
guarantee.
If you sponsor us,
Sponsors.
we'll make it look good, I promise. So this is, what is it, Poor 15 Acid Etch? Mm-hmm. So I said in the previous clip that we weren't going to deal with the rust, but I didn't realize this is, I just breathed in some of that. Woo! It's going to turn my lungs into a skeleton. But I suspect right now, can you just hold it still for a sec, Tegan?
Yeah.
Right now, this rust kind of looks brown. And you're supposed to leave this for, what did you say, 20-25 minutes?
25 minutes.
Our humidity is a little low, so we're probably going to leave it a little bit longer.
I don't think humidity affects us.
And our temperature is also a little low, so never mind, we'll just do what it says. But anyway, so you can kind of see it's very brown. I think if this does do what I think it does, because it's acid, acidity kills rust, this rust should turn black.
Here's a... Yeah, this is getting darker already.
Yeah, so we'll come back in about 10-15 minutes and we'll show you, but I'm going to guess this is going to turn black, and that's exactly what you want, because that's going to seal that rust up, and then that allows the paint to seal properly.
What's happening?
So you can see it turn black on Tegan's fingers.
This was just rinsed off.
Alright, so we got some Jegs alloys. First is was that a factory Dodge steel?
So this is a factory Dodge, like 1970s cop rim. Like literally sealed.
So it is a factory dart rim.
Yeah, cop.
So steel cop rim.
Steel rim. With a Mickey Thompson 235 60 R15.
Right, where are we at? Show me that. Okay, there we go. So we got 235 60 R15s. I think Americans use a lot of inches, but that's like millimeters in case you don't.
26-inch. That's like a 26-inch tire by like, I don't know, 8.5 or something.
Show me the. Okay, and then this is 325 50 R15. Massively bigger. Not that this is a small tire, but that is way bigger. And if you're watching this, you're like, oh yeah, well, you know, that's way heavier, whatever. We just weighed them on this. I mean, it's an old scale, whatever. But what's the difference between them? 1 pound?
There's 1 pound difference. That's actually 1 pound lighter. But keep in mind, these aren't forged aluminum wheels. These are just cast aluminum wheels from Jegs. They're $100 a rim. And
so hashtag worth.
Versus the Steelies.
Hashtag worth for sure.
Yeah.
So you so you got 1 pound heavier on the one on the right, and then you got these Bobcat tires, which are just obviously the highest performance.
Yeah.
They'll run right over your.
These on the dark.
Literally run over your competition. By the way, did you hear they're coming out with a new episode of Bleach?
Swear to God, if you said taxes.
Now that we have done this, I don't know how well it's coming through in the camera, but it's very dark and black. If we had used more time and more acid etch, it'd probably be even more black. There's a little bit of a brown tinge still, but that is okay because again, we're using Poor 15, which is a rust-killing machine, rust-killing chemical. We're not worried about the inside. That's going to be greased, but yeah, it's definitely a lot darker than it was. And so that's good. It's looking good. We're good. Ford 9-inch. What year is this from again?
This is from, I think, a 1958 truck, because it is actually with the rare flatback, which is...
So as you can see, the flatback 1958 Ford 9-inch is an improvement on the 70s Dodge. Next, we gotta dry it again. Time to dry. I want to get the orange of the gun. Oh yeah, don't wreck my camera.
If you want to know how Canadian this is, we actually use this to put new ends in our hockey sticks.
So I just wanted to film this. I've used a number of different types of acid etching and rust killer, and I mean they all worked really good, but something really cool about the Poor 15 is it almost turns it like a bronzy gold color. So I think it's leaving a little bit of a zinc additive. You see this kind of white stuff behind, but man, look at that. That's super cool. It's like a bronze, and the camera's not showing it, but it honestly looks like brass, like, you know, bullet brass. Looks really cool. So the question is, should we paint this surface or should we leave it unpainted and seal it with a gasket?
So when I was watching a shop on YouTube, and they were a super professional shop, because they were building, they went through like a four-part video
documentary
where they're assembling a Ford 9-inch, and they say they actually, when they powder coat the differential, which means if they powder coat it, they obviously have more money than I do. They actually put plates on here that are made for the Ford 9-inch before they powder coat it and then take the plate off so it's bare metal. So my logic is maybe leave it bare metal.
If the professionals did it, we should do it. The only concern we really have is that this has been acid etched. And so we're kind of thinking like, is that going to cause us a problem?
I think you can always buff that out though, because it should be inert, right?
Yeah, and all it's really done is killed the rust. So I'm going to say let's not paint it, let's put the thing over it. Alright, here's your pour 15. This is the smallest can of it I've ever seen in my life. It's literally fits in the palm of your hand. And this stuff, rust preventative, really good stuff. I've used this on my Cougar. Keegan's using it on his axle, and I think it's going to do really well for him. I hope it's going to do well for him. But it literally says on here, it's designed to go directly on rusted, yes, it says rusted, sandblasted, okay, we did that, and we did the rusted, so we got 2 of the 3, and seasoned metal surfaces. I do not know what seasoned means.
I put spice on it.
But, I'm going to assume we cover that. Dries to rock hard, really good, rust preventive, you can look it up. Lots of people have videos on pour 15, good stuff. So we're going to throw some of that on here after we did the old prepperoo. First coat looks pretty wet. Putting on the second coat. Alright, so it's all dry now. It looks really good. Almost has kind of a purpley-ish tinge. You probably can't see it on camera, but really, really pretty. But now we gotta scuff it up and put the top coat on, so should get even better. Alright, so now we're going for the top coat, applying it over the 3 base coats. Man, I'm a great narrator today. Dart, rear end, 9-inch, fully painted, still drying, so it looks a little bit off yet, but it's gonna look really good. And now we're putting the brake lines on and mocking up. Really cool emergency brake Willwood disc conversion kit, looks awesome. I think I might have to get something like this for the Pinto, possibly even maybe the Cougar someday too, but it just looks amazing. So yeah, just mocking that up and then we're going to get her underneath the car. Alright, paint is dry. Okay, that kind of felt a little wet actually. Nope, it's dry. So it looks pretty good. I'll be honest, just a little bit of review if you've never used the top coat before. I actually think the base coat looked better than the top coat. So if you're just like for looks purposes and spreading purposes, I'd say the base coat was the way to go. But the top coat is UV resistant, and so that's kind of why you would use it. Obviously this is going under a car, but you know, still going to see some sunlight. The reason we're doing this project in the first place, Tegan had to shorten out the axle and get a Ford 9-inch because Mopar axles are not capable of handling power.
Well, you did a Dana 60, but they're heavier.
Yeah, but Mopar doesn't. Dana 60 is not a Mopar axle.
Kind of. It was offered originally Mopars.
Oh really? I thought it was a Jeep truck thing.
Oh,
anyway, so this is the old tires. We showed a clip of the bigger tires. I can't find them right now. But the goal is to get those on the car today. So you can see there's no axle in there. And we gotta get an axle in there. So we're gonna run some brake lines, we're gonna do a couple different things, and then hopefully we can show a clip and I can put a really awesome clickbait thumbnail of the Dart with some outrageously big tires on the back. Okay, so just something to note if you are painting one of these. You can see some of the paint kind of bled through because we obviously didn't use a gasket or seal it on. And so it might be worth it to seal that off before you paint this. I mean, could have probably seen it coming, but we can deal it. We'll fix it. It'll be fine. Hey guys, so we're getting pretty tired at this point. We ran into a bit of a snag here when we were putting the brake lines on. At this point, I can't even remember what it was. I think we were missing a fitting or something like that, and it just didn't make sense to put the axle in today. But that's pretty much going to be it for today's episode. Definitely let me know if you want to see more videos of the Dart. I think it's a really cool car and a lot of unique stuff going on in it. So if you found this interesting, please do give me a like, comment, and hit the subscribe button. See y'all next time.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises early in the morning. Putting it along, but it will be so we're putting it along.
Canadian hieroglyphics. I wonder what they meant. Why you run away? How many you want? How many you want? How many you want?
30. Just cut off my head. Tegan drank the water, and just so you know, that was contaminated, professional only use water.
Don't do that.
So we do not recommend doing that at home.
I'm thirsty.
Alright, go, go, go. This NASCAR. You're terrible. You fail. You're fired.
We're losing the race!
Get that rear end back in that NASCAR now!
Get that rear end shortened!